Jenson, welcome to Bridgestone Driving Nation Roadshow here, finding out what the public think about driving. Tell us a bit about yourself, what you love about motoring.
Motoring, well, most of my life is about motoring, obviously in a different way with motorsport, but I've been doing it since I was 8 years old. You know, I was driving cars or go-karts when I was 8 years old, and I just love being in control of something that has a lot of power, and also pushing it to its limits. Obviously very different to what you should be doing on the road.
How different is your driving, how you drive on the circuit and then how you drive when you're out on the public road? There's a lot of people out there, there's a lot of different driving standards.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very different. You know, I get to use all my energy and my adrenaline when I'm racing. So when I'm on the road, I'm pretty relaxed. You know, I do get frustrated with other drivers quite a bit. That's probably my biggest downfall. But I'm pretty relaxed driving. You know, it's something to get me from A to B. It's not something that I enjoy so much.
Obviously these days greener motoring is quite a big consideration. What can people do to drive more greener and think about the environment?
Well, you know, not all of us can afford to buy new cars and you know, hybrids or fuel cell cars or electric cars. If you can, it's great, but if you can't, you know, there are other ways that you can be greener, and one is just being a lot gentler with the throttle pedal. That's the one on the right, and mostly in cities, you know, because that's when you use a lot of fuel. Your fuel consumption just goes so high, you know, through just accelerating very hard. So just being gentle with the throttle. You know, you're going from one traffic light to the next traffic light. It doesn't matter how quick you get there. But also making sure that your tyre pressures are correct. A lot of people run around with low tyre pressures, and it's not just bad for the environment, it's also bad for your pocket because it's costing you more money. Same with roof racks. It's like going around with a sofa on your top of the car. 4x4s are obviously not great, and you know, if you are living in a city and you have to drive a car, you don't need a big car, you want a small car, because first of all it fits into small spaces and it's going to cost you a lot less.
Now, talking about driving on the roads, a question we have to ask you, your driving test, did you pass that first time?
No, driving test didn't pass first time, I passed that second time. I went for a gap that wasn't there, I was told, but I got it the second time, so I just don't think the driving instructor liked me first time.
And when you were out on the road your first time, eager 17-year-old, what were you driving around in? I
had a Cavalier first car. I must have like a Nova or something, I had something a bit bigger. But your Cavalier lowered as you do as a, I don't know, boy racer is the right word, but yeah, I enjoyed my driving for sure as a kid, and I had big wheels, big stereo, yeah, and I loved it.
And are you still driving around in that, or have you gone for a bit of an upgrade since?
I changed it a little while ago now, and I'm very lucky that Mercedes give me cars to drive, so I'm driving around in one of their cars.
When sometimes you find the situation where you're not behind the driving wheel and you know, passenger or in the back seat, what do you like as a passenger?
Terrible passenger. I'm really, really bad, and I always have been. I don't know why. Maybe something happened as a kid, but even my father, who used to be a racing driver, I hate being a passenger. I have two friends that I stay with when I'm in London, and they've raced as well. One raced at Le Mans, won Le Mans in his category. Another one races in Porsches, and I can't stand being a passenger with them. I don't know why it is, but I struggle for some reason.
This year, of course, you know, leading the Formula One World Championship, quite something. How have you felt about all the attention? You've been in Formula One for a long time, but to be, you know, Britain's hero this year?
Well, you know, I've had some pretty good years in the past, and I finished third in the World Championship in 2004. But yeah, we've had some difficult years, but it's going better now. But the British public have always been very supportive through the tough times and through the good times. So I get, you know, people come up to me now and say, well done for what you've achieved, instead of it will happen, don't worry about it. So it's still the same amount of support, which is good.
And just looking to Valencia, of course, beginning of the season, you were up on that top step quite a lot. You haven't been the last few times. Yeah. Can you get back there?
Well, hopefully with a bit of help from you guys. The first part of the year was fantastic, and the second part, the last three races, we've struggled to get tyre temperature in the cooler ambient and cooler track temps, but it's our fault, you know, we just can't get tyre temperature, and other teams are able to, and we're struggling with that, and it's something we need to work on before we go to Valencia. Valencia should be hot, but still we got to sort this issue out, because this loses a lot of points, and that's not what we want at this point of the season. So we're working on that at the moment and hoping that we can get back to our winning ways in Valencia.
We certainly hope so. Thank you, Jenson.
Thank you.
Okay.
Good man, thanks.